Yo YouTube, what's good my people? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over why everyone is saying the Vikings playbook is the #1 playbook. I see a lot of people saying it, but I'm going to basically be going into how I run this sort of defense and just some pointers, just in general, just explaining why this playbook on defense is truly so good. Now, before we get into anything, of course, like I always tell y'all, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe. Let me know down in the comment section what else you guys want to see, and let's go ahead and get into the video. Now, this playbook, this Vikings playbook, I am currently on a 52-game win streak in MUT Champs. Yes, I can show you guys. I'm going to probably put it on the screen just to show you guys, because I already know there's going to be that one person in the comments.
You're lying. You're not on a 52-game win streak. You're just saying that just to get people to click on your video, blah, blah, blah.
You feel me? But the main defense that I really run in this, and my favorite defense, is going to be 3-3 odd. It's very similar, honestly, to the dollar defense. We can kind of discuss that later, but I'm mainly going to talk about 3-3 odd here first. So first things first, when you guys are going into here, you're going to want to turn your auto flip off. This is because we're going to be running a loop blitz. So this is very important. Turn your auto flip off. You're also going to want to put your base alignment. You're going to want to put on base alignment. It just helps your defense line up a little bit better. It allows it, if the person you're playing against, audibles a lot and everything like that, you are going to have to flip your play, but it will allow your defense to just be better across the board, lined up across the board, in my opinion. I personally also put my option defense on conservative because I want them to focus on the QB, on read options, on triple options, just anything that involves the quarterback run as like an option. I want the defense to focus on the QB. I got the running back in my user, so that's why I do that. And then I also put my zone drop hooks on 5. I will adjust these flats and curl flats depending on how my opponent is playing. You guys are going to be on your own on that one. I'm not going to tell you that, but I do put my hooks on 5 typically. I will adjust this depending on down and distance, depending on how close we are to the goal line. So for example, if we're like 10 yards away from the goal line, I'll put my hooks at 10. I'll put my flats at 10. If we're just if it's just like normal game, the game's just started, I will just put these on 5 so that the hooks come down a little bit more if I do put hooks out on the field. But that's just what I like to do personally. Now, in order to run this blitz as best as you're going to want to run it, right, you're going to want to put CB2 inside, CB1 inside, or CB swap on. I personally do CB1 inside because that's where I typically put my player that has the lowest press rating. That's where I will put them at CB1 so they can get subbed into this inside position. In this case, it's going to be Lamar Jackson, the Lamar Jackson cornerback card. He does have the lowest press rating out of the 3 cornerbacks that I'm running. So that's why I do that, and that will also allow you to have your adjustments make a little bit more sense. We'll go into that a little bit later in the video. So as far as subs, right, we'll start D-line, right? D-line, you're gonna want as fast as guys as you want down here, especially with the 0 AP abilities right now. I typically have 2 edge threats. I sold my team, so that's why some of the players here aren't normally here, but I'll have an edge threat and like an under pressure edge threat, no outsider type of thing, just so that we have that pass rush ability, but then if somebody wants to run stretch on us, we also can stop that outside run. Now, the same thing can be said for defensive tackle. The most important thing right here, I would say, is you're going to want that inside stuff, whether it be this Jordan Davis who has 1 or the 0 AP ability DTs that have inside stuff for 0. You're going to want to put that on here as well. I'll also put on like under pressure, or it just kind of depends on what it is. But I do think inside stuff is going to be the most important thing to put on your DT here. Typically they'll put a second DT here, but I will also put essentially my fastest guy, at least in this case, is going to be Matabuki, so I'll put him there. But yeah, you're typically going to want your 3 fastest pass rushers here, typically with an edge threat and no outsiders and an inside stuff on the inside there. As far as linebackers, so your linebackers, this player right here, this left of screen linebacker, this is where you're going to want to put your fastest linebacker. You're going to want to put your fastest linebacker here. In this case, it's going to be Tyreek Hill. I have him as the looper in the blitz. I'll show you what I mean by that here in a second. Again, cornerback, this is going to be your cornerback. This is going to be the cornerback that has the lowest press rating. Right here, this right of screen outside linebacker, this is who you're going to want to be your most versatile. You're going to want this to be your best coverage and best pass rusher. Whoever's the most balanced linebacker that you have, you're going to want to put right here. I typically also do put the tallest player that I have here, somebody like Jimmy Graham, Gronk. Somebody like that is really good to put right here, in my opinion. Ted Hendricks, when he was, top of his position, he also played right there. I also used to put Ray Nitschke there. That was another version. But yeah, that's typically who you're going to want to put right here. And then this is who you're going to want to put for your user. I typically put Sean Taylor, Gronk, Jimmy Graham. Just guys like that to be right there that you're going to want to user. And then it kind of just depends from there. Typically your corners, you're gonna want to put mid zone on those. But I've done a lot of explaining, how to actually set it up. But let's go ahead and go into some of the play calls that I like to call. So the first thing a lot of people are gonna call is this hot blitz 3. Now the thing with hot blitz 3 is this is gonna require a decent amount of adjusting. So if you're not comfortable with adjusting, I would not recommend calling hot blitz 3. But it is a very good very, very good play to call. I think it's very, very good. Now, the thing that I'm most comfortable with calling is going to be LB cross 3 show 2. This is going to be where our loop blitz comes in. So I'll show you guys kind of how to run that here in a second. And then other defense that I like to run is going to be cover 6 Willie. Cover 6 Willie, you can have this, my face cam's kind of showing it right now, but cover 6 Willie, you're going to have, you see these 4 down linemen, the player on the far right, you can kind of drag him out, and then that way you can get pressure from that spot, from that right side. So I'll show you guys kind of how to run all 3 of those, and then we'll go into the next formation as well. So my absolute bread and butter defense is going to be this LB show 3 cover 2. I forget what it's called specifically. But this is what it's going to look like base. What you're going to want to do before the snap is you're going to want to press Y or triangle and then press RB or R1 on PlayStation, RB on Xbox. And that's going to show blitz. That's going to bring all your players down like this, and that's exactly what you want. That's exactly what you want to see. Now, this is a match defense, so I will shade my coverage down. How you shade your coverage down, again, Y or triangle, that's going to bring up your coverage adjustments, and then you're going to push down on the right stick. Now, as you guys can see right here, it turns those into hard flats. Again, you can change those to be curl flats. You can change those to be, whatever you want. But I typically put it on hard flats at first, just at the beginning of a game. Now, depending on what your opponent is running, again, this is just what I like to start off the game with. I will put my safeties both in inside quarters and kind of run it like this. I will then drag my looper back like this so he gets a little bit more of a better blitz angle, and then I will switch over onto my user and put him in this mid-read zone so it allows me to switch stick. You don't have to do anything else from here. That's pretty much it, and you just let the blitz just come in. You kind of swoop down with your user right here, and then that's basically it. It looks like it got picked up pretty well right there. But for the most part, it doesn't really get picked up that well. So let me go ahead and set this up again and show you guys what I mean by the type of defense that we are going to be running. I backed them up. Boom, boom, boom. It actually does look like the running back does a little bit of a better job of picking it up lately. Let me show you guys just if they send this blitz essentially makes the person have to block their running back. So let me pick a play to where the running back is actually running a route, because the AI is doing it. So we'll set it up here again. Boom, boom, shade down, boom. All right, perfect. So we got it set up. This is exactly what we want right here. So see how that looper comes in free. Obviously online, your opponent's probably not gonna move that quickly, but you saw how quickly that loop came in, and it pretty much makes your opponent have to block their running back pretty much every time. unless they just absolutely know how to, block this blitz. Sometimes they do. So you see that looper comes in. Again, your job is to just lurk over the middle of the field. And that's pretty much the defense I call on like 95% of people. It's pretty much that simple. And that blitz comes in a lot. It makes your opponent have to get the ball out quickly. And if they, don't block their running back, they're going to get sacked 99% of the time. Now, again, I'm not going to go into necessarily the hot blitz because, again, it's pretty much the same thing as that one. It's just hot blitz will allow you to have pressure from both sides. So I'll kind of just show you what I mean. Again, I'll pick a play I'll just choose vert digs again, but I'll choose a play. We're going to show blitz again. And then what you're going to want to do is drag this guy out. So that way you have pressure from both sides. And then it's up to you to kind of put these guys in different assignments here. Again, this is the type of defense I would want to run here. And you see you get double pressure from both sides. And you just kind of, again, your job is to just lurk over the middle of the field and put out adjustments that you want to do. Again, that's up to you guys. I'm not really going over that in the video today. But as you guys can see, he had to get that ball out pretty quickly or else he was going to get sacked. So, I mean, that's a really good one to run as well. I know we didn't get that sort of instant pressure right there, but that's kind of how I run that blitz. So the last play that we're going to call is cover 6 Willie. Cover 6 Willie, in my opinion, is really good if you're facing somebody in trips. This is the type of defense you're going to want to run. You're actually the cover 6 Willie is typically really good. Actually, this is a good setup like this. If you're gonna run cover 6 Willie, I would turn on auto flip. That's what I'm trying to say. If you're running cover 6 Willie as your defense, you can kind of just like mix this in. I would put on auto flip. That's just the best way to run this sort of defense. And as you guys can see right here, again, if you drag this guy out, he kind of gets a little bit of a better blitz angle. Again, that's just what I like to do. And it kind of allows you to have, a decent amount of guys on the field and be able to call in a blitz and just be able to have that. So let me go ahead and choose a new play. I forgot to put the defense back on auto align or put them on base auto align. That's what I want. So let's go back out here again. I apologize. Here we go. But yeah, if somebody calls like trips, tight end, flex, that's what I'll call a lot of the times. It kind of just allows you to kind of have that be mixed in and be able to run that blitz really well. So, again, your job is to basically just lurk over the middle of the field. Lurk over the middle of the field. You can switch sticks, so see if that gets open. I mean, get to the quarterback pretty easily. Again, that blitz isn't that good. It's kind of random, I would say, when it hits, but that loop blitz is going to be the #1 blitz for you guys to, be able to run. Now, I know that was a long explanation for 3-3 odd, but that's literally the first thing in this playbook. The next thing is that you can run. This has mid blitz, so you can come out here in mid blitz. Actually, I need to choose a new play. Let me just have them do this. I forgot, because when you're in mid blitz, actually you do want this. I do kind of like this setup right here. So all you do is hover over this right here. You hover over the line right here. You can adjust man coverage and everything. Again, you can show blitz here and adjust all that, but you're going to want to hover over here with your user. And I mean, they pretty much scream in like pretty easily right here. Obviously, again, I called a run play, but yeah, let me choose a new play. I apologize. Pretty unprofessional here, but here, let me just show you guys. If he was to run, we'll just choose dagger. I mean, I know the play that's coming, but yeah, same sort of thing. You have your base alignment on. Again, it just depends on what your opponent's running, but you can have base align on. But you're gonna want to hover right here with your user and just kind of swoop down. And again, it's pretty easy coverage. I mean, even the AI just threw a pick right there. Man coverage is definitely a very high risk defense. So if you run this, you know what I'm saying, I definitely would recommend just make sure you guys are ready to run what you're running. So hover down right here, and you're gonna want this to kind of come in again. See, so my tie law just got absolutely beat right there. So that's kind of the downside to it. But again, this kind of forces your opponent to block their running back. So if you call a play that Again, they don't block their running back. They put their running back on a route. So if I go out and call Y trail, for example, we come down here, do the same thing, hover right here with my user. Again, my user is on the running back. You can kind of man these running backs or these linebackers up right here if you want. That way I can kind of like free float around and I can switch stick. So this is what I'll do right here. So I will typically go down like this, and then see, Blitz came in nice and easy right there. As you can see, that's a perfect example of what I am talking about when it comes to that. And again, it just depends on what your opponent is running, but it does allow you to be multiple on defense. You can also run 2-4 double mug. 3-3 cub is also good. It really isn't as good anymore, so which is why I'm not going to go over it in this video. This video is going to be extremely long if I go into 3-3 cub, but this is also another solid defense for you guys to run that can play the pass, play the run pretty well. And of course, like I mentioned, it also has dollar. I'm not going to go into dollar. I'm not that well versed in dollar. I personally do not run dollar, but you do have that option in this playbook. You also have 4-3 even 6-1. When it comes to this formation, I typically have two inside stuffs. It depends on who is here. Again, I saw it off my team, but I'll have two inside stuffs here. I will have an edge threat here, an edge threat here with no outsiders, that combination that we were kind of talking about earlier. And then these two outside linebackers right here, I will put my best coverage guys there, and then obviously your user in the middle, and then just your four best DBs. Now the play that I call is just like how it was in the draft mode. I will call cover 4 quarters. Again, it's the same sort of thing that we had set up then. You shade, you show blitz, shade your coverage down. I will pinch my D line a lot of the times and then slant them outside, because this formation, when they run, it's really good against outside runs, but it's really weak against inside runs. So I will I will like pinch my defensive line. That's left on your D-pad, and then down on the left stick, and then left on the D-pad again, and then up on the right stick. So that's going to pinch your D-line and slant them to the outside so that they can play the outside run really well, but again, also kind of play that inside run if somebody calls it, and you won't get gashed as much. You do have to be skeptical of that inside run, because that's like the one weakness of this formation, but it is a really good pass defense nonetheless that you can really just switch stick out of and be confident in. Again, I'll switch stick, kind of go down here, see nothing's there. The quarterback, he's got to run out. I mean, there was nothing there, as you guys saw there. Even the AI didn't throw the ball, so that just, it doesn't prove that there was nothing there. But again, another good solid defense for you guys. Again, cover 4, you don't have to do that every time. You can put out your different adjustments. I'm not going to go into that because that could be a whole video in itself, but just knowing that you have that formation. And then the last formation is going to be 3-4 odd. So basically, I see a lot of people call pinch buck O and kind of put adjustments on the field from there. I mean, you can just leave the man coverage out there. You can also put out different adjustments if you want, but this is, in my opinion, like the crash out defense. This is kind of like you just want to just fluster your opponent, and it's almost like mid blitz, but a little bit different in that sort of sense. And then, you know, kind of adjust from there. You can also call saw blitz 1 and adjust from there, because you already have a zone assignment. You can put out different zones. It would probably be a little bit easier to adjust out of that one. The last thing, again, I would say for dollar that I do know is that you're going to want to come down in double safety go, and then audible over. So you want to have whatever plays you want to like kind of audible over to. I would say Tampa 2, DB Sting 2, Buzz. It depends on what you want to do. You also could call in overload 3 seam, cover 4 drop, cross 3 fire. It just kind of depends on what you guys want to run, but you're going to want to come out in this double safety go. It'll bring your safeties down. So let me go over here and pick a play just really quickly. You'll see. So see how it brings both your safeties down. You don't have to like show blitz or anything, and then you can just easily call this. Again, I'm not in base alignment right here. It would keep everybody in the same spot, and then you guys can kind of adjust from there and run basically whatever defense you want out of it. It's a really good way to call a blitz as well. You got a switch stick here, so see, I mean, it's pretty easy to kind of run, and you know, a very switch stickable defense, a lot of speed on the field as well. This is the defense I would recommend the most against the pass. If your opponent is just only calling the pass, definitely a solid option. The main takeaways from the video, I would say, is what I like to run is 3-3 odd mainly, but this playbook has a ton of different options for you guys. It is so many different formations in here that are really good, that have very different purposes, and allows you to be able to match whatever style opponent that you face, whether they're just running the ball, whether they like to run and pass, or if they just like to pass. There's everything in here for this playbook for you guys. So hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Let me know if this did help y'all in any way, shape, or form. Again, I can go into more depth on, you know, adjustments and everything like that and how to adjust. If you guys are interested in that, let me know down in the comment section. But with that being said, boys, I appreciate y'all for watching the video. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.